Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. Our next continuous voters registration is registered to vote. National Convention for March 28, and human rights lawyer says President Tinubu main beneficiary of River State political crisis. River State Environment Ministry official says low manpower driving rise in casual workers. NAFDAC survey reveals easy alcohol access for minors. On the foreign scene, President Trump seeks $1 billion in damages from Harvard. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili with the news. Now, the PDP faction led by Abdurrahman Mohammed has set its National Convention March 28 and 29 in Abuja. The decision was made at the party's 105th National Executive Committee meeting on Monday, chaired by Mohammed, with Senator Samuel Anyanwu as secretary. The NEC reaffirmed the Abdurrahman Mohammed-led National Caretaker Committee as the party's only lawful national leadership, stating that it will continue to function as a national working committee until a new leadership is elected. The party also approved the timetable for its congresses nationwide, ward and local government congresses in February 2026 and state congresses in March 2026. The NEC directed the Caretaker Committee to issue guidelines for the congresses in line with the PDP constitution, INEC rules and court orders. It welcomed a recent Federal High Court judgment in Ibadan and urged party members to respect all judicial decisions. The NEC also ordered the immediate setup of convention committees, extended the tenure of state and zonal caretaker committees, and called on members to remain united as the party prepares for the convention. Well, in the meantime, the PDP says it is taking steps to end its internal crisis ahead of the National Convention. The decision was made at the party's 85th Board of Trustees meeting in Abuja. BOT Chairman Senator Mao Ohabonwa urged leaders to put the party's interests above personal ambition. National Caretaker Committee Chairman Abdurrahman Mohammed thanked the BOT and party members for their support and said the committee is ready to reposition the PDP. Both leaders are confident that reconciliation effort and upcoming congresses will restore stability and strengthen the party. We're still talking politics now. The Julius Abure-led National Working Committee of the Labour Party has rejected the reconciliation effort by Abia Governor Alex Otti, calling them insincere and premature. The Abure faction blamed Otti for the party's current divisions, and says the legal battle over leadership is not over. Now, Otti had expressed regret over the exit of former presidential candidate Peter Obi and met with the Board of Trustees, National Caretaker Committee, and trade unions to push for reconciliation and party cohesion. He also announced that the party would skip the upcoming FCT Council elections and would not join any opposition coalition ahead of 2027 general elections. The Abure faction, however, dismissed his effort. And at home front, questions are mounting over whether President Bola Tinubu will step in again to resolve the political crisis in River State amid suggestion that the prolonged standoff could work in his political favor. Public affairs analyst Obinwa Kanwa says the president is taking a cautious approach to avoid actions that might weaken the political relevance of both the minister of the FCT and River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Akanwa made the comment in an interview with our correspondent Bioduware while addressing questions on whether peace talks are still ongoing between the warring factions despite the impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara.
My thinking is that President Tinubu is playing a chess game in this Rivers issue. If you look at how he had played his games over this time, all are geared towards protecting his personal interests. He is being quite cautious in his dealings with these parties so that he wouldn't jeopardize his chance of sailing through in the state. The delay in according the governor that reception, like the other governors across the other states had been accorded, is deliberate.
He adds that the political crisis in the state is far from over, noting that both sides have yet to reach a new compromise.
The crisis between the governor and the House of Assembly members in the state is far from being over. For me, it's still a ding-dong game because none of them is giving up, especially on the side of the FCT minister. He's intensifying efforts with the assemblymen to ensure that the governor is ultimately pushed out. You cannot just push out a sitting governor without recourse to constitutional guidelines. I don't think it's going to be an easy game.
Meanwhile, human rights lawyer Chatam Wala believes President Bola Tinubu may not intervene quickly, suggesting that he is the main beneficiary of the ongoing disagreement between the River State governor and the FCT minister.
The crisis in River State, I don't see it is far from over. It is actually far from over. But unfortunately, like I said, and I keep saying, the greatest beneficiary of the instability within River State is the president. The president is the greatest beneficiary for it, because the president has continued to enjoy the benevolence of both the governor and the minister, who are the true architects of the crisis we have right now in the state. He's enjoying their support. For him, everything can go wrong in River State so far as his 2027 ambition within the state is secure. And that's exactly what is playing out in the state.
Wala also urges the River State government to take decisive steps to prevent any form of political violence. His comments came in response to a statement made by the FCT minister in which he threatened to use state-owned facilities by force if denied government approval.
And it is really bad for our democracy. It is bad for us as a people. Unfortunately, we all here in this state, when the FCT minister signed the executive order stopping opposition political party from campaigning and using government facilities for campaign, we saw all that happen in this state. And now today, he's no longer governor. He is now inciting violence by making such an unguarded statement. The government of River State too. So stop being docile. Take certain drastic steps against statements of this magnitude to quell violence and to quell future civil disobedience within this particular state.
Well, in the meantime, residents of River State are reacting with mixed opinions to comments made by the FCT Minister Isonwike during the Wakirike Ethnic Nationalities Grand Civic Reception in Ogu on Saturday. At the event, Wike declared himself in charge of the state amid the ongoing political crisis. Speaking in an interview with our correspondent, some residents insist that Governor Similai Fubara remains the legitimate authority in River State, while others express support for Wike's claims.
A wrong idea. One person cannot own a state. One person cannot say we, individuals, we are in structure. Is he using charm to control us to dance into?
Because of sin, yes, we have a problem with some people, some political members. At the end of the day, he now brings sin. Things start messing up along the line because they have given him the power. It's not good now. For me, Sim is not a leader in River State. He's here so.
Make him carry on in people along. Because nobody they perfect for life.
Just go on with the state, not Wike. Oh no, it's governor, not Wike.
Yes, he's in charge of River State. He has power and the sin is not doing well. The power still on him. For me, I don't know for another person.
Well, let's go on a quick break now. When we return, Senator Natasha opposes Senator Ababio's appeal at Supreme Court. To stay with us. At the River State Ministry of Environment, Wisdom Ogono is blaming the growing number of casual workers in ministries and agencies on manpower shortages in the River State Civil Service. Ogono made the statement on Nigerian FM's Morning Crossfire on Tuesday. He says many casual workers offer their services for free in the hope of being absorbed into the civil service once formal recruitment begins.
In civil service, retirement is key. Currently, right now, a lot of the senior officers has been retired. There is a low manpower in the state for over years now. There has never been employment opportunity openly, widely in River State. And that has contributed to that backlog. If there has been employment opportunity, I think some of these things would have been reduced. I must tell you the honest truth. None of them has payment in any way. They have not been paid. One of the encouraging factors they have is that they believe that when there's an employment opportunity, they will be considered. So it's like they are putting their best, believing that one day their youth will be rewarded with employment opportunity.
He adds that the leadership of the River State Civil Service is aware of the presence of casual workers, but note that those who have remained in service for years without pay or formal engagement are often demoralized.
What has been happening is that the leadership of the ministries are purely aware, commissioners, permanent secretaries, and they think that, okay, once there is employment opportunity, we're going to appeal to the governor and make sure that you guys are converted to the mainstream. So this has been the motivating factor for them to stay back. And that is why you're not seeing a lot of them doing well in the field, because they are not motivated.
Moving on now to security. The rising cases of one-chance criminal activities in River State have become a major cause of concern for residents and commuters. Speaking on the development, security analyst Dr. Ifechukwu is calling for enhanced community vigilance. He says criminals often hide in neighborhoods and target unsuspecting people. Speaking to a correspondent, Emekotaka, he notes that without strong community cooperation, it is difficult to stop kidnappers from finding safe hiding spots for their victims. He adds that security agencies alone cannot tackle the problem.
For me, I would think that at the community level, because many victims have recounted how they emerged from different locations around the HA axis. So for me, not just the HA axis now, but all around the state, community leadership must enhance community vigilance. The local leadership, the youth groups, the vigilante groups that they have must pay attention to the quality of people that they have in these communities. People who are visitors, vehicles that get into the communities, supposedly secluded places, uncompleted buildings, they should pay attention. They should ensure that everybody is properly profiled within such a space.
Dr. Wanogwa urges the River State government to run awareness campaigns to teach citizens safe commuting practices, especially when boarding vehicles outside official motor parks. He also stresses the need for proper vehicle registration and identification.
The state would also have to ensure they partner with other stakeholders for proper sensitization of the populace and citizenry via radio jingles, via TV, adverts and commercials, newspapers, and what have you. Social media is also a very good place to use so that people are circumspect before boarding any kinds of vehicles on the roads and on the highways. It's very important that this is done. It has to be a continuous thing. It's not a one-off, as long as this menace subsists. And a key thing that would have to be done in that regard as well is registration of commercial vehicles by the state, the Ministry of Transport, to ensure that only those people who are registered to do business are allowed to do those.
In recent weeks, victims have shared their experiences of one-chance crimes with Go Wazobia Info FM in Port Harcourt. They revealed that kidnappers demand ransom from their families and loved ones and also stole their personal belongings, with some victims losing money from their bank accounts. While in other news, the senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, has filed a counter-affidavit at the Supreme Court to oppose an appeal by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. She's asking the court to dismiss the application, describing it as lacking merit and meant to delay judgment. Akpoti-Uduaghan says Akpabio was given full opportunity at the Court of Appeal and that his brief was rejected because it exceeded page limit and was not properly filed. She also argues that the appeal raised issues of law and fact without court approval. The case is linked to her 6-month suspension by the Senate in February 2025, which a federal high court in Abuja later ruled unconstitutional. Despite completing the suspension, the legal dispute continues at the Supreme Court. Now away from that, a NAFDAC survey says more than half of minors and underage persons in Nigeria buy alcohol themselves. The study found that 54.3% of people under 18 have easy access to alcoholic drinks, mostly sold in sachets and plastic bottles. The survey, conducted across 6 states, shows that many young people buy alcohol from retailers, while others get it from liquor stores, restaurants, and supermarkets.